Hey guys, Darren here. Welcome to Let's Eat. Get out your jars. I want to show you what we are working on today. We have canning jars. We have pickling salt. We have cucumbers. Garlic. We got our mortar and pestle. Thank you, Priority Chef. We've got some black peppercorn, some fresh dill from the garden. We're going to ferment cucumbers and garlic. And then I'm also going to pickle a little bit of garlic just for the heck of it. I haven't done it. Can't wait. All right, now we're back. We are fermenting cucumbers. We are fermenting some garlic. And we're also going to do some cold pickling, which really isn't pickling, of some garlic and some brine and dill solution that I have left over. It's an experiment. Cooking, gardening is an experiment. I'm going to show you what we're doing. I've got most everything prepped already. Here's a close-up of these beautiful little cucumbers. Our cucumbers did not do well, so we bought these from the store. These are Boston picklers, 6 inches. You cut the ends off. The ends, especially the stem end, has an enzyme that can soften it, and you just don't want that. Nobody wants a lip pickle, guys. Nobody wants a limp pickle. You can cut these however you want to do it. You can put them through a chopper, chop them up nice and round. I cut these long because we're going to eat these with sandwiches. And then also I cut some of them almost all the way through just so they would get good and brined, but I left them connected on the other end. Just something to do. Now, we're going to make our brine. We are using kosher salt. Do not use anything but kosher salt or sea salt, because the iodine in the iodized salt can cause problems with your ferment, with your canning, period, and cause some discoloration, and some of the vegetables can become really soft and mushy, and it's just not what you want. We're going to crush up a couple of pieces of garlic in the mortar and pestle. We're going to crush up some of the dill, and we're going to spread it throughout. We're going to put peppercorns in a couple, and we're just going to kind of play with it, let the stuff ferment. How much salt am I using? About that much. How much warm water am I going to be using? Oh, about that much. I say that flippantly. It's an easy recipe. Fermenting is so easy. People should really do it a lot more. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to make the water. Whoop, lost you for a second. We're going to make the water into a nice brine solution, and we're going to have an anaerobic environment once we pour it over it, which is going to allow lacto fermentation. It's a beautiful thing. We're going to allow lacto fermentation to occur, and this is going to give us all the wonderful benefits from these cucumbers because of the lacto fermentation. It's really good for your gut health. It's one of the best things you can do, actually. If you're going to eat garbage, eat a lot of fermented stuff because it'll really help you process. More to come. Okay, guys, look at this. That is all we're going to do. I'm just crushing this up a little bit. That's all I'm going to do. I just want the garlic to be crushed enough to release when I put it into the cucumber brine. And I'm going to put a little bit of dill in all of it, and I crushed 2 black pepper. That's it. And again, thank you, Priority Chef, for the fantastic mortar and pestle. All right, guys, we've got the spices added to it. Now, how much salt do you use? Believe it or not, I used a lot of salt with this one. I put almost about a quarter of a cup, but I'm making about 1.5 gallons of brine because I'm going to be filling all of these up, and I need to fill up some extra containers as well. So while it sounds like a lot of salt, I'm using a quarter cup to 1.5 gallons of filtered water, not chlorinated water. That's something you need to address, is the fact that chlorination can really cause a problem with your ferments. So if you need to go get 1 gallon of spring water or something like that from the grocery store, or we actually pull it from our Berkey. So now comes just the regular part of adding cucumbers. And again, I said I was doing the long ones. I'm gonna have to stack them correctly. There we go. That's the best way to stack them so you can get the most in there. Whether you're doing honest to goodness canning or fermentation, you just want as much of your product in there as you can get. There we go. Cram in a few more. Now, I'll do the other one. More to come. Okay, we are done. Now all we have to do is let time do the fermentation. This is why I make so much extract. There are all kinds of different ways you can get locks and weights and all kinds of different ways to make your ferment. You can also just use a quart bag. Get a storage bag, don't get a freezer bag because you'll get in trouble, and set it on this and let it overhang just like that. It will drain and bubble and fizz and burp, and it just goes up around the edge of the bag. As the water evaporates, you take the water in the bag and you add it to your ferment, and there you go. That's it. Plain and simple. Some people like to add grape leaves because the tannins in the grape leaves help to keep the pickle firm. Remember, no one wants a limp pickle. But for this experiment, we are just going to do it without any leaves, without any grape leaves. You can also use like muscadine leaves, which are in the same family. And that one is set up. We're going to do it. We're going to carry it downstairs in a nice dark place that is not too cool, not too hot, relatively temperate. And then we are going to check all of these in about 3 days, and they're going to bubble and they're going to make some wonderful odors. And if you like it, you know, that's great. Some people might say it's kind of stinky. Some people might say it's kind of stinky. But
you talking about your honey?
No. But this is one that is not fermented. This is not pickled either. This is just a pickle brine, a pickle solution. And essentially these are going to be refrigerator pickles. So we're going to take these and set them in the refrigerator and let them sit for about 2 weeks. And then we will have pickled garlic. These are going to be fermented garlic. So it's all just a process. I'm going to get these guys set up downstairs, and then I'll show you where they sit. There we go. And as luck would have it, I found some of the really small jars that fit inside the wide mouth jars. That's one reason I like doing the wide mouth jars. Those work better. As the volume goes down, I've got my brine in that Ziploc bag and it will stay here. So we'll check it in 3 days. Probably gonna take a couple of weeks to really get a good flavor for us. I'm excited. Don't be scared when you're doing this fermentation. Experiment, just experiment in small batches. and know what you did so you can duplicate it if you like it. I'm curious to see next time if I do fermented garlic, if I threw in a couple of coffee beans. What kind of flavor would you get? Would it be interesting? Would it be good? Who knows? Play with this stuff. I hope you guys enjoy your meal.